I'm a dumbass. She likes to call it French. I think girls like French things. Before we start, I like to do something, and it's interactive. Please allow the energy that we be to coexist and commingle with all other energies in a flow. Please allow the highest vibrating beings to dictate that flow. Thank you. This is Sue, by the way. She travels with me. Please allow the words that come from us be the perfect words for every interaction, and allow those words to be in the perfect vibration, frequency, and tone for all living things to understand. Thank you. Now repeat after me. All energies in my energy field.
All energies in my energy field.
If you are not here for my highest and best,
if you are not here for my highest and best,
leave now.
Leave now.
Yeah, buddy, I need all that.
Everybody just got a 10-pound diet. They just don't even know it. I like to start on water. We're 70% water. You take your body weight and you divide it by 8.6 pounds. That's how much water you have in you. 8.6 pounds per gallon of water. That's what it weighs. Science will tell you that. So your body weight says how much you weigh by the water you carry in you. Some carry more, some carry less. The rest is minerals and earth, and various other heavy metals. Now, people always want to detox from heavy metals. That's only if you have an overload. You all have heavy metals in you. It takes it to operate. You have something in your brain called magnetite that lives nowhere else in your body. It's a heavy metal. This is why magnets work so well when you put them on the bridge of your nose to go to the spine when you're working with emotion. Now, water is a wonderful thing. We have so much of it, we like to poison it. We poison it with tea, sugar, coffee, juices, whatever else we do to water. But on this planet, in this planet, there is such thing as pristine water. It's never seen the surface, it's never seen oxygen, it's never seen human hands. It doesn't come up out of the ground, it's too deep. But if you sit in meditation, or if you sit in a quiet space and you can clear your head, you can ask pristine water to give you its vibration. And if you ask pristine water to give you its vibration, you can regrow fingertips like I have. Russian scientists have been doing this for about 25 years, but you can't find it on the internet no more through hypnosis or a trance state. It's literally, we think we're this, and this is an Uber ride you're playing in. I've been dead 6 times, I can tell you that. But once you start crossing that line, that boundary line, well, they're going to call you nuts. But that's okay, that's a compliment. All you got to do is watch how they live their lives. And I kind of like being called nuts. It keeps me on the edge. It keeps me in my realm of reality, if there is such. People say I'm a survivalist. No, I live off the earth. That's what I'm made of. Survival is what the city folks are going to do when we hit the deep freeze in a few years. They're going to try to figure out what to do, what I do all the time. But it's all going to come back down to water. Do you know how to purify it? Do you know how to store it without it going toxic or rancid? So it's all about the water.
Well, how do you store it? Like normally there's the capsules you can put in that can store it for like 7 years or something. But I have something tells me, oh, is that how you would do it even? Or
Me, I just get water and I store it because I know how to purify it.
But metaphysically you're purifying
I
it?
can do it with my spoken word or my thoughts. Dr. Masarai Emoto proved that.
Yeah.
Or you can get a 5-gallon bucket of charcoal, a 5-gallon bucket of sand, and a 5-gallon bucket of rocks, and you pour the water through it. And by the time it makes it through the bottom, it's pure water. And if you're smart, you'll add a little iodine to it. Me, I'm gonna distill it with the sunlight. I've made a distiller that'll distill 55 gallons of water in 3 hours with the sun. Water that is distilled has no memory. You buy distilled water in a store, it may have started distilled, but it's had human interaction. Every thought that's passed by it, every spoken word that's passed by it, that water is taking it on. It's no longer distilled. It has a label that says distilled, but it's not. Water changes with your thoughts and your spoken word. No matter what anybody tells you, it's fact. Dr. Manager Ayamoto proved it, and they still call him a quack. Oh yeah. But they have a religion called science, and it is a religion because we're creators. We will create our outcome every time. The words abracadabra will tell you that. I speak what I am. I speak my life into existence. It's in the Kabbalah. To say where your predominant thoughts are, that's the life you have. The words you speak on a daily basis, where your mind is at, that's the life you have. I live in a world, in a realm that's crazy to most, so I attract things that are crazy. And they told me when I quit working here that I would starve to death. They don't know me. I don't go to the grocery store except to get salt every once in a while. I grow my own food, I grow my own medicines. I've learned that when I had 7 herniated discs, 3 bulging discs, 2 fused discs, and my right leg wouldn't work, rheumatoid arthritis and diabetes on top of that. They said without surgery I wouldn't walk again. They don't know me. They said I would take insulin shots the rest of my life. They don't know me. I've amputated 5 fingertips and grown them back. They don't know me. People don't understand what they're living in. They call this them. They call this I'm me. And most of them claim what they do is what they are. I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. That's what they claim they are. No, that's what you do. That's what you do. What are you? What are you here for? What's your purpose? What's your gift? Most can't say that. They don't have a clue what it is. We're taught from a very young age, from the womb to about 7 years, children are to be seen and not heard. That's when they're the most creative. You remember laying in the grass and watching the clouds and animal shapes? But you know you were creating those animal shapes. Your thoughts would make those animals because they popped in your brain. That's exactly what we're doing in every aspect of this. But we don't know it because of programming. Programming to go make this dollar, or that dollar, or this dollar, or that dollar. What if everybody does like I do? People pay me to hear me speak. People pay me to talk to me on the phone. People pay dearly for the medicines I grow because I don't use chemicals on anything that I do. I don't have to. I don't have to. I'm a creator. I can make it vibrationally where the insects won't bother it, where the critters won't bother it, because I'm the creator of the world that I live in. How do you access that? This is the biggest question. Do you know how to sit down and make your mind quiet? It's very hard for females because the way I look at them, they've got this squiggly energy. It's everywhere in all different colors and it doesn't end. There's no breaks in it. And men, well, they have this space in the middle of their head and I call it the no thing box. And when a man tells you he ain't thinking about nothing, count on it. There's a dead space there. I promise you. I find it. And it's quite easy to find, and once you find it, that's the best place to sit if you're not creating something. But women, well, it's kind of that because their brain don't shut off. Most of them get very little sleep because their brain don't shut off. Very little because their brain don't shut off. It's all tied together. It's one wire tied to the other wire tied. I ain't figured out yet how they don't short circuit. And sometimes they do. And we call them crazy. I'm a man. I'm allowed to do that. We don't understand. I've studied the female form all my life because I know your portals. Every one of you are portals to the other side. No new life comes to this place without coming through a female. I don't care what the critter is. I don't care if it's a woman, if it's an animal, if it's a bug. No new life comes into this realm without a female. That includes the plant realm also. Males are expendable. We really are. I can't even, I'm going to tell you the truth. If you didn't find this humorous, we'd all wake up in the morning with a 9-iron across our foreheads. And I'm grateful I don't wake up that way every day. Well, I do crazy things. I mean, you know, I get these ideas and I can't give them all away. I have to play with them and make sure they work. And if they work, and most of them do, because I don't know where it's coming from.
What the ideas are, you're creating things, you're actually making. Maybe you could talk about what you make. Like you
I never know
physically-
what they are until it comes through and it goes through my hands. I don't really know what it is. Tesla used to go to bed at night with a notepad and a pencil beside his bed. He would wake up in the morning with the drawings and the schematics of what he was going to build next. Nobody knows that.
He didn't remember writing it down though.
Most don't remember their dreams. Most don't understand. When you lay down a dream, I think that's reality. This is the illusion that we're creating to entertain ourselves. But how are you creating your illusion? How are you creating your life? Are you creating it with stress? Are you complaining? Are you talking about this and that and the neighbor and the other girl and that girl down the road and that guy over there? Well, this vessel you live in, my Uber ride, it doesn't know there's anyone else in this room. It has no clue there's no one else in this room. Not a bit. The way we communicate, people think we're using words to communicate, but no, I'm saying words. It's making the water in me vibrate and you're picking up the vibrations. Every one of us. Water talks to water, no matter the container it's in. No matter. And we're lucky today because we have moving water. And moving water is pure, raw energy. Water purifies itself through movement. Most people sit around in pain and won't get up and move and have more pain the next day. Water moves, it changes. The best way to get rid of pain is move the water. Get up and move. I don't care if you've got to move real slow. Move. It's full of electricity. I douse water for other people so they can drill wells. So I literally walk up and find an edge and I mark it on the ground and then I go find the other edge. That's electric currents running both ways. That's not the actual water. That's the electrical currents. And then between those two electrical currents, I can find the actual water movement.
How is this? Say this again.
If you go over there and put your hand on either side of that water dripping off of there, if you're very sensitive to energy, you'll feel the currents. One positive and one negative. Runs through your body the same way. Your left side is your feminine side on every human. I don't care if you're left-handed. It's negative energy. It's not negative energy, it's a negative polarity. The right side is a positive energy, ascending energy. It's not any more positive than anything else, it's just an electrical current. Magnets don't work without a north and a south pole, positive and negative energy. Same thing, we all work the same way. Well, if we don't have this current flowing through us, guess what? You get to see the other side where I play.
So if you put your hand, so when you find the water in the ground, you are picking up on the,
Positive and negative electrical current
okay, and then you can deduce where the water is by
between
finding the
those.
middle point.
I've gotta find the edges.
Yeah.
And to find the edges, and then I can stand in the middle of that current and say, show me where the actual flow is. And it will take my body right over the actual flow of the water.
But the water could be this wide and the current could be out this far.
Oh, I've seen it a half a mile.
That the current goes out real far, but the actual water could be this.
It could be this,
Isn't that fascinating?
depending on the substrate it's in. If it's a really magnetic substrate, you could have a stream as wide as your finger sending an electrical current a mile in each direction. Now this place here, this valley down here, especially where the strip is on a lake, an underground lake, an underground aquifer. And most people don't know they can cross the street down there and change the polarity in their body, thinking they're making right decisions and they're not. You can change the polarity in this by crossing a water path.
That's why I had a dream about a tidal wave.
I've been driving down the road here in Vegas. Everything disappears. Everything disappears. And I'm driving on a paved road where there's buildings and everything else. It blips out, I see a lake and dirt roads around it. This is kind of disheartening when you're driving in rush hour traffic. So I never know when this is gonna happen, it just happens. But it mainly happens when I get near an aquifer. It mainly happens when I get near an aquifer.
Because it switches the polarity,
Yeah.
and so you're
And
seeing
it turns off my conscious brain and puts me into a vision field. And this is what I tell people all the time. I'll be walking out around the property and I've asked water to come in to water the trees because I'm making the rainforest in the desert. And I never know where this is gonna happen. I'll go out there and be moving fertilizer around and all of a sudden I blip into a vision field. And it may last 5 minutes or 15, I never know. But I see blips into the future and blips into the past. Now the future, it shows you the future where the energy is in that second. In that second, or that 15 minutes. But there's choices to be made, so that vision changes.
It's not static.
It's not set in stone. Nothing is set in stone.
So does that make it a huge place of geopathic stress?
Geopathic stress is different. Geopathic stress happens on the earth ley lines. The earth has energy centers all over it. I mean, they literally zigzag like diamonds. But you'll find that everywhere there is a church or a government building with a dome is a ley line. You'll find those are intersecting points of 2 or more ley lines. Happens.
Aren't the military bases in that on them also?
Most of them are on faults to
Oh.
where they can go down and core underneath and make their underground tunnels. I mean, every big military installation is connected by a 6-lane highway that runs from one military installation to the other, to the other, to the other, where they never get on top of the surface unless they have to. You can go from San Diego, California, the military installation down there, to Cheyenne Mountain and never see daylight.
All underground.
All underground. Now, the natives talked about the caverns that they came out of back in the day, and the military knows about it because they found one of the holes over in the Grand Canyon, and now it's owned by the military and has armed guards on it that goes into these caverns. They know it's there. It's documented. There's Billy Carson has studied it and several others. It's there. And anybody that's been in the military a long time with a top secret security clearance knows they're there. They've been in them. They go from point A to point B. They don't have to move missiles, trucks, guns, any of that on top of the surface unless they just want to. Unless they want to. Everything else can be done underground. They also have lights that Tesla invented that put off no shadows.
What would be the point of that?
Gnomes can't go where there's no shadows. different energies can't go where there's no shadows. I travel with the gnomes in my visions. I can't go where there's no shadows.